Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. Oh my god, bruh. This fucking PTB is the fucking shitstorm that just keeps on shitting and it doesn't show any signs of stopping. And unfortunately, this fucking disaster is coming to a fucking live fucking patch near you in about 24 hours. Fan-fucking-tastic. So, what are they doing, guys? We got to get this up pretty fast. What are they doing? It's been a little over a week since the star-studded Nicolas Cage PTB. They're not hitting any of the perks, by the way. So have fun dealing with plot twists tomorrow. But beside the point, let's get right to the fucking chase here. Let's cut right to the fucking chase. Little Miss fucking Mid, okay? So first of all, Little Miss Mid, if you're not using her condemned strategy right now, is a bottom 5 piece of shit. Okay, that's the fucking reality of the situation. Bottom 5 piece of shit. Okay, so, and guess what they did? They nerfed her. The PTB came in, it was a fucking nerf. On every conceivable level, what they were doing was absolute failure, absolute fucking nerf. Nerf City. It couldn't come live. What they were doing with her simply, it could not come live. They made the tapes way too fucking safe. Survivors were literally able to fucking run around. Like, they even say here, I don't know if this is just bad writing, but they even say in this thing, we'll get to it, that, like, when survivors would have tapes in their hand, every TV was already shut off. Like, so they would just have a tape, and they wouldn't be able to put it anywhere because they were all shut off already. They were literally so effective that they worked against themselves. Fucking terrible how powerful the tapes were in the PTB. Unacceptable. She was already bottom 5 base, and they were about to make her... If what was in the PTB came in, she was going to be the worst killer in the game. Absolutely beyond any fucking shadow of a doubt. They had so much control of the game that she was going to be the worst thing in the game. 100%. We've been keeping a close eye on Sadako and how her balance played out. After reviewing your feedback, we've identified some of the opportunities for fine-tuning before the update goes live. Okay, so they're going to buff her. During the PTB, being hit with a basic attack while carrying a tape will cause you to gain a condemned stack. Additionally, being hooked with a tape would inflict all other survivors with condemned as well. While risky to hold, the tapes protected you from gaining condemned when the projection happens. Although this did have the desired effect of making tapes a more active part of the match, we found that taking and holding a tape offered too much protection to the survivors. For the release, we made the following adjustments. Okay, before we go over the adjustments, can we just say that whenever there's a fucking unique killer item, holding it is always fucking strong. Pinhead's box. Fucking Victor. Like, how do these fucking clowns keep making the same mistake over and over and over again? The EMPs on the trashularity that he literally just came out. Holding the EMP was too fucking strong. It still kind of is. It still basically is. Holding killer items is always busted. It's always busted every single fucking time. On Nemesis, if you can find a way to put a vaccine on mid-chase, that's really good. The only killer that doesn't fucking apply to is fucking Wesker. Because of course it is. It was never not going to be Albert Wesker. So they always make this fucking mistake. So it's unbelievable that they did it again on this killer. And ridiculous. So what do? Survivors who are hit while carrying a tape will now gain 2 stacks of condemned, destroying the tape in the process. Being hooked while carrying a tape will no longer inflict other survivors with condemned. The tape will still be destroyed. Okay, so right away, plot twist just fucking got better against her. Because now, if you're injured against Sadako, and all you have to do to prevent 2 stacks of condemned from being inflicted on you is use plot twist and drop over on her. And force her to hook or take a slug. Which, if your teammate picks you back up, you can just fucking plot twist again. Right? So plot twist is already better at shielding her stacks of condemned. But you gotta be injured for it to work, admittedly. This will allow Sadako to more easily inflict condemned on survivors who are carrying a tape, even if she does not commit to the chase afterward. This also addresses a potential exploit that allowed the killer to repeatedly down a survivor who is carrying a tape to build condemned with no opportunity for counterplay. This was something I was talking about in my server. I don't think I mentioned it on. I might have mentioned it. I don't know. I think I mentioned it just in my Discord server. What I think I was actually planning on doing with the new Sadako was to literally slug somebody and leave them slugged with the tape, and doing it over and over and over again to build the condemned up. because that sounded like her best play. So they deleted that, but they deleted that, which again sounded toxic. So I wasn't really excited about that, but that was something that the killer could do to actually build Condemned up. Okay. But what's good here is this is something I see a lot of bitches like Ryuga and Scott Jun complaining about on Twitter, that Sadako does not have to commit to a chase in order to build Condemned. Fucking good. Absolutely perfect. Why do you want her? What this does is you don't have to be lethal to get Condemned now. She needed this because she's M1 garbage. We said this before. The game wanted you, the PTB's version of the killer wanted you to run around and down people and hook them and play the game normally and to ignore Condemned's existence. It was just a side thing that basically the survivors could cut corners around. Basically, Scott Jun on Twitter was sitting there going, I want Condemned to be a fucking deterrent. I want Condemned to be a deterrent. No, that doesn't fucking work, bro. The death penalty is a deterrent. Do you see that working? Not really. Not really. Not really. That kind of deterrence doesn't work. Okay, that's just, if Condemned is something that it's just a deterrent, insert the tape now or insert the tape later. It doesn't really matter. You can choose when you want to do it, survivors. That idea completely doesn't work because the survivors will be able to cut corners around the stupid thing every time at every available opportunity, no matter what that is. Whether that be hold it till you get 4, hold it till you get 6, do it mid-chase, do whatever you want. The ability to deterrent, you can do it whenever, survivors. It's for killer slowdown. That doesn't work because survivors will always position themselves to be most optimal at when they do things, which is absolutely fine. No one's shitting on them for playing well. It's just that's what they do. If you give the survivors a killer mechanic, their immediate fucking response is, how can I cut corners around it? How can I make sure I don't have to do it? Did anybody remember Plague, how they just wouldn't cleanse and still don't really do? They try to cut corners around the killer's power. That's just how to play Survivor. That's just what the role is. Cut corners, not interact with the power, don't let the killer do what the killer wants to do. So the response that you have to do it then is Condemned has to be, if you don't fucking interact with this, you will fucking die. That's what it has to be. It has to be that. There's just no other alternative. And again, not saying that what they're doing for her here is going to actually help her do that. Because again, this is still overall, even with these buffs, this is still overall a nerf to the character. She will not have what she had. The Condemned build was the best thing she could do, and she's not going to have anything like that. So this is still overall a nerf. I still believe that. But what was in the PTB, you must understand, what was in the PTB was fucking unacceptable trash that couldn't come live. It was that fucking bad. This at least is, I mean, is she still going to be D tier? Yeah, probably. But I can look at this and tell you what I'm supposed to do with it. The killer now has a very hit-and-run play style, which, again, everybody wants hit-and-run to come back until it does. Then all of a sudden it needs to go away again. I don't understand that. The killer has a very hit-and-run, non-committal play style that she wants to be building up Condemned, knocking tapes out of the game when she can to build up Condemned, and then once she has Condemned stacks high on somebody, that's when she commits. A strategy that Save the Best for Last is going to have good synergy with to allow her to go to those commitments when she can. And also, the ability to knock a tape out of the fucking survivor's hands will delete instances of shit that really has needed to go since she came out, which is putting the fucking tape in mid-fucking chase to delete Condemned. That shit has needed to go forever. And by the way, it's not dead completely. They will still be able to fucking put the tape in mid-fucking chase sometimes and delete Condemned. That's just something they will still always have. But if they're healthy and you hit them, bam, if there are 5 stacks of Condemned, you hit them, boom, they get 2 stacks, they're fully in the red, and the tape's destroyed so they can't save themselves, and you're on them with 6 stacks of save. That's what she wants to be doing. Is there any reason to hook survivors in the build? Ryuga's like, there's no reason to hook survivors in the build. Of course there is. Now, that's my slowdown, bro. The hooks are your slowdown. The hooking and the hooks are the slowdown. The hooks should be the alternative win condition. The hooks should be the build-up pressure over time to be your backup plan in case this fails. That's what I truly think. Now, again, Maybe top tier Sadakos will still try the slug approach. I don't like that. I've always, that's probably always was optimal, but it's like, I still think the killer should be interacting with as many of the game mechanics as they can. If Sadako is ever at a point where she is slugging and not hooking ever, number one, that's a referendum on how bad the fucking hooks are. That's one thing. Like, the hooks don't do anything. That's the first thing that means. Is like the hooks are just in a bad state, and removing hook grabs is not something that that the game needed. Sorry, but so that's the first thing. But it's like, if the killer's just not interacting with the mechanic, that's when you can start to look at the design. So I think I still will be trying to incorporate hooks into this condemned build-up, but I can now tell you what the fuck the character's supposed to do. So what do you, like, Ryuga's like, the kit's confusing. What the fuck do you mean the kit's confusing? You bounce around, hit people with tapes, build up condemned through teleports, hit people with tapes, get the tapes out of the fucking match, and then once they have a tape, like, you know what I'm saying? You hit people with tapes, bounce around, commit, slow the game down a little bit through hooks. It makes perfect sense to me. Whereas before I couldn't tell you what the new kit was supposed to do, I can absolutely tell you what she's supposed to do now. I can absolutely 100% tell you what she's supposed to do now. It makes sense to me. I like, just get fucking good, Ryuga. Sorry. This makes perfect fucking sense to me. Is it good? Probably not. Is it good? Likely not. Is she still garbage? Probably. Is this going to beat good teams? Probably not. Is this going to have any chance at like a 3-man Swift? Probably not. But again, I can still tell you what she's supposed to do. She's going to use save. She's going to build up save stacks and condemn at the same fucking time to encourage to commit with high save stacks to get downs. That's what she's going to fucking do. Combined with the next ability, which, holy fucking shit, here comes the fucking godsend. With survivors having more reason than ever to pick up a tape, it wasn't unusual to find most TVs disabled at any given time. This is both for the survivors and the killer, by the way. Because if every TV's fucking shut off, the survivor picks up a tape to shield themselves from condemned, they can't shave it off because the TV's on a fucking 100-second cooldown. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. But what they really mean here is that all your TVs are disabled all the fucking time. That's what they really mean there. You're playing Sadako, trying to fucking teleport. Your TVs are shut off all the fucking time because you have a fucking 90-second cooldown when the survivors are putting the tape in, which they can do with any fucking TV now, right? So they made it looser for the survivors to put the tapes in the televisions, and they made the televisions cool down longer. What the fuck did you think was going to happen there, behavior? Of course all her TVs were shut off all the fucking time. That's what made her worse. That's what killed her. The long cooldowns have killed her. Since day one, really, but especially since you fucking did this to her. We found this to be a little too restricting for the killer, preventing her from projecting too often. Her ability to quickly and frequently traverse the map was one of the most fun things about playing Sadako, so we have made the following tweaks. First of all, quickly teleporting. How are you quickly teleporting with 100-second cooldowns on your televisions? How are you doing that? Were you just getting off cooldown and going to another television halfway across the map? You don't even know where the fuck they are. You're just teleporting to teleport. That's what I did like twice and realized it wasn't good. You can't just do that. Not really. Maybe at the beginning of the game when you have iridescent tape, you can be a little liberal as you do it so you can get a few back on when you actually do find them. But like, if you don't have the tape, like, you have to be talking about iridescent tape here. You have to be. Because if you are going to fucking teleport to a television that then had a 100-second cooldown, you better be damn well sure you're getting value out of it. Unless you know you could turn it on right away with the iridescent videotape. So, like, you have to be talking about eerie tape here. You just have to be. It makes no sense otherwise. Because the killer couldn't teleport quickly to important key televisions. She could teleport to TVs across the map that were garbage and useless, and it was a terrible play. But she couldn't teleport to the TVs she needed because they were always fucking either turned the fuck off for one reason or another, or it just wasn't a good play to do it there, right? Those are the two main reasons you weren't fucking bothering with the teleport. But, so quickly teleporting, yeah, sure. But anyway, their logic is dumb, but let's see what their flawed logic came up with. Projection now is a 10-second cooldown, was 15, sure, I'll take it. TV disabled, projection now remains disabled for 45 seconds, was 100. There we fucking go. That's what she fucking needed, right there. Your cooldown is now 45 seconds down from 100. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I said on my last video it should be 40 seconds max. I'm certainly not complaining about 45. I'm not going to throw a fucking fit about 45 seconds over 30 or 40. She definitely fucking needed this, because the cooldown was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And you know what? I'm still not going to sit here and go, wow, 45 seconds, so broke. That's so good. It's still 45 seconds. That's still, when you really look at it, a long cooldown. Again, that was a cooldown that they saw on Victor when Victor used to have 45 seconds of being held hostage. The company decided that was too long and moved it to 30. Do you remember this? There are still precedents for 45 seconds being too long of a cooldown for her. There still just is. I'm sorry. But, again, I'm certainly not going to say anything more than that, because the alternative of 100 seconds, would you like it to go back up to 100? No, sure. Behavior. I'll take 45. I will take 45. And then there's also grounds for them to change this when they realize that 45 is still not very good and she's still not getting results. Then they can actually buff her again. TBs disabled by survivors now remain disabled for 70 seconds plus 90. So they shaved off 20 seconds from when they do it as well. Which, again, they still want to be turning them off themselves with the tape, sure. Combine these changes allow Sadako to project herself around the map far more frequently. The fucking 45 is wonderful, because the majority of your things are going to be fucking when you're crawling through the televisions, especially, lads, when you might be thinking, well, Rosie, they can still put the damn videotape in any fucking thing they want. Well, yes, that's true, but again, we talked about this in my last video. Iridescent videotape makes it so the fucking mechanics are the way they are right now, which she's going to be running every single match if she knows what she's doing. So basically, the character gives up an add-on slot to make sure that her base mechanics stay in the game. So run iridescent videotape on her every single fucking time, and you have the mechanics as they should be. So yes, you have to give up an add-on slot, but if you combine it with the double Eerie, you can get auras on people running with videotapes around the map. You 16 meters of any television with a videotape, you get to see their aura when you do a projection. Brilliant. That's what she needs. She's going to be running fucking double iridescent, ladies and gentlemen. That's what she's going to be fucking running. Embarrassing that the killer's going to be running double Eerie probably every match in the hands of people who know what they're doing, but that's the state of Jeff's design. That's the state of Jeff game design over at Behavior Interactive. Patrick is reading these changes and laughing his fucking ass off. He's laughing his fucking ass off at this ridiculous shit. So basically, that's the new Sadako. They thankfully did not put out that fucking that fucking pile of vomit that was in the PTB. Is the character worse than she is right now? Yes. The character is probably worse than she is right now when you're running Eerie videotape and ring drawing. Though that's right now. She's still worse. But think about what they were about to fucking dump in the game. What they were about to dump in the game would have undisputably made her the worst killer in the game, probably in her own fucking tier. That's how bad she was about to be when they dropped it. Thankfully, they looked at the PTB, they told Jeff to go fuck off and sit in the back, and we're at the state where Almo game design doesn't sound too bad anymore, does it? They fucking tell Jeff to go take a hike, is what it sounds like. They go in the break room, Jeff, go fucking get some coffee, let fucking Almo do it. So Almo gave you a fucking killer that's trash, but but not in their own tier. Jeff was about to make her in her own fucking tier. Bye-bye, Jeff. Your game design is terrible. So, thank fucking God. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you these are great changes that's going to make Sadako so much better for everybody. This isn't going to help her. She's still going to be pretty bad. But again, what was about to go, I'm serious, lads. What was about to be dropped in the game was going to be legendary in terms of its ineptitude. What was about to be dropped in the game was one of the worst things I have ever read come out of this company. So for the fact that they fucking patched it up and fixed it a little bit, the character now can fucking have more options about what she wants to do. She doesn't have to be so lethal, being M1 trash. The fact that she can spread condemned, she gets 2 stacks in 1 hit now is much better. It help her deal with plot twist, because if they're healthy, they can't just plot twist you and not get a stack, which is something they could do. They could stay injured and then drop over with plot twist to avoid getting condemned stacks altogether. If they held a videotape, plot twist would just shield them if they were injured. They can't do that anymore. They can still use plot twist to drop over, Sure, they can still do that, but they can't just like, they can't do it. Well, I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to say here. They can't burn plot twist. Maybe don't listen to me. Forget I said that. I don't know where I was going with that thought. I feel like there's something it can do to like not make plot twist as bad, but at the same time, the guy who's injured can plop over with plot twist and save himself 2 stacks, like I said at the top of the video. So I think what I meant to say was plot twist is worse. Yeah, it's definitely worse, but that's okay, because you still have to be injured to fucking make plot twist go off, right? Sure, and you can still destroy the tape anyway by hooking them. Which, if they're plopping over with plot twist, you can destroy the tape anyway. You can get the tape out of the game. It's so like if they're at high stacks, you might just want to. I don't know if you would rather hook them or leave. Again, we got to test some of this stuff. How she's gonna deal with plot twist is gonna be interesting, because again, if they're at like 5 stacks and they keel over with plot twist, do you let them get up, or do you hook them and blow the tape up? That's something we'll have to figure out. Again, this is definitely more testable. But again, her overall, the fact that this kit now clearly has more save the best for last synergy, you can better choose what you want to do. You can better choose who you want to go after. You can choose when it's time to commit because you know you're going to fucking down them. Is she going to be the best thing ever? No. Is she going to be the most fun thing ever? Probably not. Over both sides. She's gonna fucking be a bitch the entire match until she builds up fucking 5 stacks to save the best for last and can actually challenge you. That's what she's gonna fucking do. And you know what? That's better than what she was about to be. Again, undisputed failure what was in the PTB. Is this failure? Yeah, sure, but it's not the complete ineptitude that was about to come in the game. Next, Hangman's Trick. Let's be fast here. Hangman's Trip is now going to be 12 meters of a score choke, was 6. Who cares? No one's running that dog shit. No one's running that dog shit. Animations. Oh, this is the last thing. They were going to shadow nerf killer, if you guys didn't hear about this yet. They fucking... In the past PTB, we've reviewed the successful basic attack blade wipe animations for the killers with the goal of making them behave more consistently. Some of the killers would look down, giving survivors an opportunity to throw the killers off the trail while others would not. To remedy this, they adjusted all the killers to have them look down. So every killer that didn't look down during their blade wipe animation was about to get a fucking shadow nerf. Thankfully, the killer players fucking noticed immediately. They fucking noticed immediately that the company was trying to, again, shadow nerf them. We discovered that some players were experiencing motion sickness due to the aberrant camera notion, as the camera would pan up and then down. Players naturally tried to combat this and looked up. These conflicting camera movements could cause the motion to feel unstable or wavy. We decided not to go through with these changes for the updates released. We've reverted the animation updates to any killers that were affected by the change. Nobody was feeling motion sickness, guys. Okay, I'm about to fucking blow up the killer players here. The killer players were not getting motion sickness behavior. That's not what was going on. They were protecting themselves from a fucking shadow nerf. That's what they were. You were about to fucking nerf killer again, and they had to lie about fucking usability, fucking this shit, stuff that they know you actually care about, to fucking get you to not put more nerfs in the game. After fucking killing killer through the fucking changes where you're gonna get rid of the hooks, they knew that you were gonna nerf them again. So they lied about usability, accessibility bullshit to make you not put it in the game. You know how I know that's what they were doing? Because nobody ever talked about, look at what they said. Some killers didn't do that. Some killers would look down, some killers would not. Is there any usability complaints about motion sickness, about what's in the game right now? No. That's not what, no. Nobody gives a shit. There's no usability complaints about the game right now, even though half the killers in the game do that. The reason, the real reason why they said that is because so you would back off and not put the changes in. And I don't fucking blame them. Of course they did. Of course they tried to do everything they can to not make you put more nerfs in the game after you just killed hook grabs. Of course they did that. Dumbasses. So, yeah, the company tried to nerf it, and the killer players thankfully got that one reverted. But too bad the hook grab ones are still going in. Failure. This is coming in, guys. This is going to be here tomorrow. So, fucking good luck. Good luck to everybody that'll be on. I probably won't be until the weekend. I'll be doing a stream this weekend to test out Sadako and work with her a little bit. But this is failure. This sucks. Overall, Sadako is still nerfed from what she is now. But at least it won't be so fucking bad. And to anybody that thinks Sadako is worse than she was in the PTB, go fuck yourselves. Scott Juns of the world, go fuck yourselves. I don't like for Scott Juns and Ryuga, like, this is such a bad change. This is the survivor mentality, bro. Survivor mentality. This makes her stronger, not weaker. Is it like the best, most interactive change in the entire world? Probably not. But is she stronger than she would have been? Abso-fucking-lutely. Let this go live. Let us play with it a little bit. This is the stage she needs to come out at. Okay? Is she gonna need more buffs? I still think so. But at least she's gonna be fucking usable. The 45-second cooldown on the fucking projection, combined with the fact that you can use the Eerie tape to fucking make them have to do the real mechanics instead of getting these new bullshit ones, will actually assist her at base and allow her to fucking do shit. And they have to pick up a tape, make them a more active part of the match, so you will be able to inflict those stacks much better. I think she's gonna be, again, she might not be bottom tier filth. Might. It's testable. All right, that's all I gotta say. I'm getting the hell out of here, lads. GG's.